What's really good? What's really good? What's really good? Welcome back to another Wednesday night live with the Sanchez Show. As always, I'm your host, Eric Sanchez, aka Legend in Two Games. Make sure you are following me across all social media platforms. You see the handle right there, bottom of the screen. Also, make sure you guys are subscribed to the Sanchez Show. We're live every Wednesday, 7:30 p.m. Monday nights is Real Fans, Real Talk. And as we get closer to the NFL season, I'm going to be adjusting the schedule. There's going to be more lives, more shows. Going to go to 4 days a week. I will drop the official schedule and let you guys know what days of the week we're going to be live. It'll be Sunday through Wednesday, uh, more than likely Sunday nights, Monday nights. Tuesday morning is going to be a new time slot I add, and then Wednesday night as we prepare you for that upcoming week of the NFL season and obviously NBA once we get back into the fall. But for right now, Wednesday nights, 7:30 p.m., Monday nights, 7 p.m. Make sure you are subscribed. Make sure you're locked in. Shout out to the comment section. Salute to the comment section. I see you guys. I see your comment there, TJ. We're gonna get to that in a second. Shout out to Trev. Shout out to Kyrie. I saw Pooh. Appreciate all the comments. Who else? Squeeze. Donovan. I appreciate you guys. Donovan, I think this is the first time on the comment section too. We appreciate that, man. Hope everybody is enjoying their night. Hope everybody's week has been going smooth so far. Let's cap off Wednesday night in a great way. My brothers, Will Gordon and Trip Young, will be joining the show at some point later tonight. But before then, let's get to some of these questions, man. Let's get to some stuff. Pooh, it's the first question of the night. We don't talk much soccer, but it's the first question of the night. So let's get to it. Bologon says, World Cup ban overturn affected teammates. Maybe. Maybe it did, maybe it did. I'll say this. I don't think US is as good as some of these international teams. I think we're hoping that the United States gets better in soccer. To me, though, I have very little interest in it, and that's no disrespect to the players. That's no disrespect to the sport. It's not our priority here, and it makes me laugh every 4 years when we get excited about the World Cup, as if we've been preparing for it from a fan base. I know Team USA and the men's team prepares for that moment, but I'm saying as far as fans and followers of the sport, most of us only pay attention during the World Cup. And it's all right that we're not a great country in soccer. It's okay. It's not that big of a deal. Like we act as if it's some outrage that we can't win a World Cup and we're not a world power when it comes to soccer. It's all right. It's a-okay. We're really good in basketball. We're really good in football. We're really good in baseball, right? We just saw Team USA, the baseball team, in the World Baseball Classic win that. We're actually good in hockey now. We're great in boxing. We have a bunch of gold medalists in that sport. We're great at swimming. It's all right that we're not that good at soccer. It's not that big of a fucking deal. It really is. But do I feel like it affected his teammates? I'm not going to agree with that. I don't think Team USA was talented enough. You saw the mental mistakes in the elimination game. Again, they got a lot of work to do. But it just kills me that every 4 years people get overly emotional about a sport that we really don't care about up until World Cup. We never discussed World Cup soccer prior to. Nobody's interested in MLS. Nobody really pays attention to the soccer team until we get to the World Cup, and then people get so outraged and surprised that the team doesn't do better. We're not a world power in terms of soccer. It's all right. We're great at other sports. It's all right. Shout out to Kyrie. Issues with Justin Herbert being ahead of Drake May in the latest quarterback poll. So for those that haven't seen it, I got the list right here. I agree with most of the list, but we're going to get to that specific player, Drake May, who I don't think should be in the top 10. I talked about this on Monday when the question was presented about Caleb Williams and should he be a top 10 player. According to executive scouts and players, the top 10 quarterbacks in this order are Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson. That's your top five. Dak is at 6, Justin Herbert is 7, Drake May is at 8, Jared Goff is at 9, and then Caleb Williams is at 10. So I don't think Drake May should be in the top 10. He had a good sophomore season. He was in an MVP race. They went to the Super Bowl. He did not play well in the playoffs. He played like hot garbage in the Super Bowl, right? So do I think that he did enough in year 2 to be a top 10 quarterback? No, because I think Jordan Love is still better than him. I think Jared Goff is better than him. So I think if Drake May was going to make the list, it should have been right at number 10. I think where Caleb is at is understandable. Great season, and you got him right at 10. I wouldn't put him in either. I talked about this on Monday. I think Brock Purdy and Sam Darnold should be in the list as well as Jordan Love. We're ranking them based off of not only coming off last season, but the totality of their career. That obviously plays a factor because Mahomes didn't have a great year last year, but we still got him at number 2, right? Lamar, a little bit of a down year, but he's still number 5. Joe Burrow, still a top 4 quarterback, even though, again, he's not having an MVP caliber seasons, having good seasons. So let's not act as if this list is purely based off of what you did last year. This list is a totality of who you are as a player. What have you done recently? For me, Jared Goff, I think it's a little disrespectful having number 9. Has he won a Super Bowl? No. But neither has Caleb, Drake May, Jay Herbo, Dak Prescott, Lamar Burton. A lot of those guys haven't won Super Bowls. But I know what Jared Goff has been. He's been to a Super Bowl. He's been to 2 NFC Championship games. And if you look at his career numbers are actually better than Dak Prescott's. Obviously, they're better than Drake Mays. They're better than Jay Herbo. And he's coming off a great year. You look at Jared Goff last season, over 4,500 yards passing, 34 touchdowns to only 8 interceptions. The Detroit Lions missed the playoffs because their defense was bad, not because Jared Goff didn't play well. When you look at Jared Goff, his numbers, what he's doing as the leader of that offense, I think Jared Goff at 9 is a little low. He should be higher probably than Drake May and Dak Prescott. If you want to put Jay Herbo at 6 or 7 purely based off talent and projection, I get it. But there's a lot of praise gets thrown on Justin Herbert as if he's accomplished something. He's 0-3 in the playoffs. He has looked bad in all 3 of his playoff losses. They've never won a division. He's never been in an MVP race. And yet you're putting him ahead of guys who have had more playoff success and more career success. That's the one I think that sticks out the most to me. Jay Herbo should drop a little bit. I think Jared Goff should be a little higher. The other part, shout out to Kyrie, because this is also another question related to that. Jalen Hurts ranked 17th in recent quarterback poll. Disrespectful to have Hurts this low, a little bit. He had a down year, but we're not going to pretend that he isn't a Super Bowl MVP from 2 seasons ago, that he hasn't been in 2 Super Bowls. All this is kind of the same stuff I talk about with Jared Goff in terms of success and totality of the resume. 17 is low. You're talking, that means you're saying he's in the bottom half of quarterbacks, all right? 32 NFL teams, you're 17, you're right in the middle, but bottom half. I think he should be somewhere in the range of 12 or 13. Again, I've got some honorable mentions in terms of the top 10 because I think Sam Darnold deserves a lot of credit, not only for what he did last year, but you look at the last 2 seasons, he's won a total of 27 total games in the regular season, a 14-win season and a 13-win season, winning a Super Bowl. He has played really well the last 2 years. He deserves a little bit more respect. I think Brock Purdy's been good. Granted, the injuries have hurt them a little bit, but Brock Purdy gets consideration. I think Jordan Love gets consideration. So there are some good quarterbacks there. Like I said, Jalen Hurts is probably in that range with those guys and deserves to probably be properly ranked that way. He's not a top 10 quarterback, but he's definitely not the 17th best quarterback in the NFL. That is disrespectful. But overall, the things that stick out to me the most on the list, Mahomes still at number 2. I'm a little surprised that he's there. I'm a big Patrick Mahomes guy. I always give a lot of praise to Mahomes, but he did have a really bad year. And if you look at the last 2 seasons, statistically, he hasn't been great. So to still have him at number 2, a little shocked. Lamar at 5, I'm not too shocked, right? He's a top 5 quarterback. We know that. I think my surprise with Lamar is that overall, execs and scouts are ranking him as the 69th best player in the league. If you're telling me the quarterback position is the most important position in the sport, and this guy is the 5th best quarterback out of 32 potential starters, top 5 quarterback, but then you're telling me there are 68 players better than him in the NFL, I don't believe that. I think that's a lie. I think that's a miscalculation by a lot of scouts and execs. Lamar Jackson is a top 10, top 15 player in the league. And again, we're ranking every position. So yes, you might fall a little bit behind the best defensive end, which is Myles Garrett. You might fall a little bit behind, Patrick Surtain, who's the best cornerback in the league. You might fall behind a couple receivers because I think Puka and JSN, what they have done, they are top 10 players. So if you're telling me you're the 5th best quarterback and then you factor in some of the other positions that have elite talent at that position and say, hey, the best player at corner is probably better than Lamar, I get that. I would not debate that. If somebody told me right now Patrick Surtain is a better football player than Lamar Jackson, I get it. You're talking about a defensive player of the year who possibly plays the toughest position in the sport. But to say Lamar Jackson is 69th when he is the 5th best quarterback, that's complete bullshit. There's no way that makes sense. The league was completely off on that. All right. Shout out to the comment section. Shout out to everybody on Instagram. I see people popping in and out the live. Shout out to people on Kick. I see you guys as well. Greatly appreciate you guys. Make sure you are subscribed. As I mentioned, we're back live on Monday night, 7 p.m. And then as we get a little bit further into the summer, we're going to go to a 40 schedule. So make sure you guys lock in with us, man. Shout out to Squeeze. I'm going to get to this question here. Will, get situated and give me a thumbs up once you're ready, bro. Squeeze says, what is your thoughts on Kareem's comments on Caitlin Clark? Shout out to Squeeze. He's referring to the great Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I didn't hear them. I read the comments that were made. I'm okay with it because I don't think he said anything negative about Caitlin Clark. He was just talking about the recognition and the praise that she's receiving from other people. His comments were, and I'm paraphrasing, Caitlin Clark has the potential. She's a good player, has the potential to be a great player. But for her to already be anointed the face of the league and gain all this praise, he said is disrespectful to the veterans who have put in a lot of work. Then he referenced Jordan and LeBron and talked about how hard and how much they had to put in to become the face of the league and how it wasn't just thrown at their feet after a year or two, whereas Caitlin Clark, it seemed like from day one, they wanted to make her the face. He's 1,000% correct. However, and I'm just playing devil's advocate because I agree with his stance and his opinion. We also have to remember the state of the WNBA before Caitlin Clark came in. The WNBA was operating in the red for over 20 years. For those of you that might not know what that means, they were operating at a loss. Ownership of these teams was actually losing money. We saw it around the league where NBA arenas that were hosting the WNBA during the summer were losing money. Ticket sales weren't good. Viewership wasn't good. They didn't have a great TV deal. They were losing money. Long story short, Caitlin Clark coming in after those 2 great years in college and the hype that was surrounding Caitlin Clark really started to push the interest of the WNBA. Did Angel Reese help? Absolutely. Absolutely. Did Aja Wilson and what the Vegas Aces were doing help? Absolutely. Did it help that Sabrina Ionescu and Breanna Stewart in New York would turn them into a championship contender? Absolutely. But we're not going to pretend that Caitlin Clark coming off back-to-back Final Four appearances and becoming, quote unquote, the female version of Steph Curry in college didn't help drive the narrative of the WNBA and the interest of the WNBA. Is she the best player in the league? Absolutely not. Is she the most recognizable? I think we can all agree to that. She is the most recognizable player because, again, of the media attention and what it drove with her coming out of Iowa, being kind of this face, a different type of player, shooting a lot of threes, pistol Pete comparisons, all those things. So that did drive interest to the league. And I think that's why the league tried to piggyback that and play along with that as she is the face of the league. Ultimately, Aja Wilson should be the face of the league. Multiple time MVP, multiple time champion, right? Right now, you got Olivia Miles, you got Paige Buckers, you got great talent that's better than Caitlin Clark, who probably will be the face of the league. But if you want to keep selling tickets, if you want people to keep watching on TV, you do have to push the Caitlin Clark narrative. Now, after the season, that might change. After this season, because of the rookie season we're seeing from Olivia Miles, because of the type of season we're seeing from Paige Buckers, Aja Wilson having another MVP caliber season, and now that people have already paid attention and know who these women are, you can probably transition away from Caitlin Clark as the face. But I think originally they had to do it to keep people interested, to sell tickets, and to get people to lock in watching TV. Now that we're 3 years in and we've kind of transitioned away, I think you're going to see the media attention transition away. With that being said, it's time for a segment we love to call the Opinionated Ones. I got my brother Will Gordon with me. Will, what's good, bro?
What it do, baby? What's going on? What's going on this fine Wednesday? What's up to all the supporters? I see y'all buzzing already.
Yeah, the comment section is looking live. Shout out to everybody. I see people jumping in and out the live on Instagram and on Kick. We appreciate y'all, man. Will, do you have any thoughts on the Kareem comments on Caitlin Clark? I went over it really quickly. I don't know if you saw the comments that he made, but I'll put the question back up there from Squeeze.
What up, Squeeze? So, what about her being the face of the league?
Pretty much.
Yeah. I ain't mad at nothing he said, but I can see where it might be met with some backlash. But it's like I agree with him, but here's my thing about Caitlin Clark. Let me just go ahead and get this. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? Let me get it out here. So Caitlin Clark, is she the best player? No, we all know she's not. There's multiple players. I think I heard you saying before I joined, there's multiple players better than her. Shout out to my girl, Olivia Miles. And, other players, the multiple MVP, Asia Wilson. That's still the best player in the league. It's a lot of talent. Like the WNBA, actually, I used to clown it. And this year, I have gotten into it. I think you can testify to that. I'm watching games. I'm looking for games. I'm trying to follow these. I'm trying to follow their games. Gambling might have something to do with it. I ain't gonna lie, but I be following it now. And there are other players better than her. But the reason she is the quote unquote face of the league, let's call a spade a spade. It's because of her being the great white hype at a time where being extra pro white was very popular. And I don't say that sounds weird, like pro white. I'm just saying, like at a time where the country was not caring, like started to turn and say how white they wanted everything to be in our faces. And Caitlin Clark really, if you follow women's college basketball, she wasn't popping like that until the national championship.
No, that's not true.
She wasn't popping like that, bro.
No, that's not true. I agree with you that she was the great white hope. I agree on that. You go back, you can look back on YouTube. Going into the tournament, there was already a buzz about her because of her style of play.
Because she shot threes.
Say that again?
Because she shot threes.
Yeah, she shot long threes in a female game.
But what I'm trying to say is where America decided to all of a sudden, because this is the WNBA. Why was it popular? Angel Reese made her popular.
No, I don't agree with that.
I think Angel Reese made her popular. I think the beef made people pick sides.
Yes, that part is true.
But I think that's what rose her popularity. It's the beef and it's the need.
But you said she wasn't popping.
Not like that. Not like she is now.
Because remember, they had the game against South Carolina where she leaves the girl out there and she waves her hand like, I'm gonna let you shoot. That clip went super viral. That was earlier in the tournament. That clip had already gone super viral. So people who weren't watching basketball started paying attention, like, who is this girl? The Angel Reese situation, I elevated it some more because, like you said, then people started taking sides. But she had already gone viral prior to the Angel Reese matchup.
Well, I'll give you that. She had gone viral. But I'm still saying, as a player, she was never the second coming of Larry Bird, which is what they. I mean, you know what I'm saying. But that's what they tried to make her to be, because of. If it weren't for that moment, none of this would be as huge as it is, because that made it. That's where the size would. That's where everybody's like, all right, you know what I mean. That's when it became black versus white. And when you watch WNBA games, just like the real NBA, I said the real NBA, just like the NBA, when you look in those stands, it's very pale in them stands. And you're seeing full families of little girls, little kids. Like you see, that's the one thing you see in the WNBA stands that you don't see as much in the NBA stands, probably because of the ticket cost. But you see full families going to these WNBA games, and you see all these little kids, but then mostly pale. And who are they going to root for? You know what I'm saying? That's just the way it is. And I think that's what Kareem, just saying all that, what Kareem was meaning was, what about Asia Wilson? What about, I could go down a whole list of players to.
No, and that's what I said. I agree with Kareem in terms of what he ultimately was saying wasn't a knock on Caitlin Clark. He was saying to be the face of the league, that's an earned title. That should not be something that's just thrown at your feet because you're the most popular.
Yeah, and that's what I get that.
I 1000% agree with him. My only counter to that is that you have to keep in mind where the WNBA was. Trip, I'm bringing you on the live. Let me know when you're ready, bro.
Oh, Trip in the building tonight.
You have to keep in mind that at the time that Caitlin Clark is entering the league, they've been operating in the red for 20 years. The business of the WNBA had been losing money. So, of course, you want to put somebody front and center who is now drawing people to the games. Whether we like it or not, any sport would do that. If you got this cash cow that's coming off back-to-back good college seasons, because remember, she went to the national championship game back-to-back years. She is the most popular girl in the sport at that time. No disrespect to A'ja Wilson, no disrespect to anybody else. Caitlin Clark was the most popular player in the sport. And if you're a business that is losing money, what are you going to do? Let's make her the centerpiece. Let's make her the face and get people to gravitate towards it. And that's why I said, like, I agree with Kareem, but you also got to understand the landscape where the WNBA was. And I also went on to say, now moving forward, I think the league can move away from her as the face of the league. Because now, because of the season that you're getting from Olivia Miles, because of the season you're getting from Paige Buckers, because A'ja Wilson's on the cusp of another MVP and the Vegas Aces are on the cusp of possibly another championship, now you already have the interest. People have been tuning in. So now you can move on from Caitlin Clark. You just used her to elevate the moment. Trip, give me your thoughts, bro.
What up, Trip?
What's good, fellas? I agree. From the business standpoint, Caitlin Clark did what she was supposed to do. She, they definitely pushed her as, front woman, face of the WNBA, because she was coming off of one of the biggest storylines in college basketball, in a while, one that was largely compared to Magic and Bird coming out of college, going into to the NBA. Now you got Caitlin Clark, obviously she's white, Angel Reese black. They're going head to head, playing against each other in the tournament. Same thing that we saw with Magic and Bird. And the same way the NBA got that boost when Magic and Bird came into the league, the WNBA got a huge boost when Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese came into the league. Now, let me give respect to the WNBA, because we're not gonna act like Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark is the only thing that has been pushing the WNBA these last couple of years. So we put respect on the rest of the WNBA's name, because A'ja Wilson been holding it down. Breanna Stewart been holding it down. Candace Parker been holding it down. You know what I mean? These women have been holding it down long before, and even during that time, listen, what the Liberty did, they turned this thing all the way up in New York before the Knicks did what they did and took over the city. You know what I'm saying?
What was her name? What was the forward's name they all had, or the center?
Jonquel Jones.
Before her, I'm talking about like
Rebecca Lobo.
Lobo, yeah, I remember Lobo.
Like the WNBA.
Oh well.
No,
hey, I mean that's the pioneers, though, right?
Right, but listen, you have to, and this is why I've always said, and this is purely playing devil's advocate, because I've said from day one I didn't think Caitlin Clark was a great player. I've always said, when we got the questions about her rookie season, what do you guys expect? I said she's gonna be solid. She's not gonna be dominant. She's not gonna be like, oh my God, we never seen anything like it, because the level of competition is gonna be so much different.
She's not the third best player in the WNBA.
Right.
She ain't the best player on her team.
Probably not. But
no, she's not. Yeah. I'm just saying she's not the best player on her team.
My point is, it doesn't matter. We're not debating her greatness, because it doesn't matter. That's not what the conversation is. The conversation is, did the WNBA, from Kareem's perspective, right? Did they need Caitlin Clark in that moment? Yes.
Yes.
Because if Caitlin Clark does not come into the league when she comes into the league, they're still operating in the red. We've talked more WNBA.
You got to get white America to watch. You do.
No, but listen, but it's not just white America. You had to still get a storyline that, like, to Will's point.
Yeah.
You got her and Angel Reese. So now you got the opposite perspective, who's paying attention to see, like, oh, I want to see what they're gonna do now. But keep in mind, Trip, me and you've been doing podcasting, live shows for 10 years now. Will, you and I have been recording together for over 4 years now. Prior to, not even 6 years now, because we started recording during the pandemic. So me and Will have been recording for like 6 years now. Prior to three years ago, we never talked about the W.
True.
Right? Will, how many games of the W you watched?
Very true. That's an absolute fact. That's an absolute fact.
That's why I say the W did need Caitlin Clark. I don't say they needed her like, oh, she's the best thing ever and she's saving them. No, they needed her because they needed people to pay attention to the league. If people aren't paying attention with Caitlin Clark, we probably miss out on Paige Buckers. We probably miss out on Olivia Miles because we're not paying attention. There's been a bunch of great women that have come through the league before, but people were not paying attention.
And that's what I meant when I said earlier, I used to clown WNBA. I remember I used to come on with y'all and y'all be talking about WNBA, and I'd be like, well, I got to sit this segment out because I want to check it for it at all. And my interest isn't because of Caitlin Clark. It's because of, other things. But the WNBA as a whole, product-wise, it's the stock is rising, and I don't think it's primarily because of Caitlin Clark. But like Tripp said, she did what she was supposed to do when she came in. She kept the registers ringing, and that was the most important thing that she accomplished and did. And now, even if you watch her now this season, it's been up and down. She ain't been out here killing them. So, but the interest is still there. Why? Because it's Caitlin Clark. Because now it's a name. Now it's a brand. And that's, she did bring a lot of eyeballs to the WNBA. But what I hope happens is the eyeballs that come to WNBA because of her are also opening their eyes to the other talent that's around, that's better than her, and even the people on the same level or not as good as her. But there's some high level basketball played in W. Now there's some shit ball played in there too. Like I've never seen so many layups missed in my life.
Well, that's always been a stigma on the W though. That's always been the stigma.
Yo,
it's a lot of blown layup. But
oh my God, Olivia Miles would average 12 assists a game, and she would if they could.
To your point, right? You needed the people to pay attention. You want people to notice the other talent, which is very important. I think that's already happening because remember last year, Caitlin Clark missed a lot of time, and the ratings didn't suffer. She missed almost half the season, and people still kept tuning in to see the other women play. And now if you look at this year, the Fever have not been the kind of quote unquote the team that everybody had, or the team everybody has to watch.
Yeah.
That first year with Caitlin Clark, they were on TV all the time. This year, the league has transitioned away from that and has kind of spread the wealth.
It's either, yeah.
So I think that is what happened, and that's why I do feel like the league used it for what it was. In this moment, we need you to sell tickets, to sell merchandise. And the moment we get people in the building, the moment we get people watching, and remember they signed their new CBA, they got their new TV contract. They said, all right, we don't have to promote you. We don't have to put you on a pedestal anymore. We can allow the other women who are better than you to shine now. And I think that's what we're seeing. Shout out to TJ. I'm gonna throw the statement up, man. TJ, you gotta realize, man, we grown men, we work hard days. We chilling right here. He said, not saying no names, but it's 3 of y'all on here, 1 of y'all looks fried. It don't matter who it is, man. We having a good time, man.
It ain't me. I got glasses on, so he ain't talking about me. Hey, Tripp.
shout out to Donovan.
Hey, Tripp, how your day been?
Right. Shout out to Donovan.
I've been at work all day, sir.
I think this Donovan first time rocking with his Tripp. I'm gonna let you go first on this one. It's only summer league, but that boy Caleb Wilson playing so hard. Pause. Like he got a chip on his shoulder. He is hungry.
He does. He did say he said he had a list. Now he been hooping. I didn't, as much as I was saying that he could possibly be the best player in this draft. I didn't know he was going to be shooting out the gym like that. He was hooping, knocking down everything from downtown. We had 35 and the other night. Now he's a problem. I knew he was going to be a problem, but it's good actually seeing it. But still, it's only summer league. You still got to transition that onto the court in the in the regular season, and if you make it to the playoffs. But he's a problem.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think we all liked him, so there's no shock to us. We're not surprised. He's been going off. Again, I don't want to make too much of summer league, but I do want to applaud his effort and what he's been doing. And again, I don't think many people are surprised that he's playing so well. He was one of the guys that most people felt like probably had the highest ceiling out of all the guys in this draft. So, only time will tell. We'll keep watching. There's also another summer league joint from Donovan. Yaxel Lindenberg from Michigan. He's been good in summer league. With it winding down, who to you has been some standouts? Will anybody catch your attention during summer league aside from AJ?
I haven't seen that kid from Michigan. I haven't seen him at all. But not to be repetitive. That Chicago got one, man, and I knew he was going to be a monster. But I've been watching he's been mic'd up through these games, and it's not some the talent is obviously there, the size, the athleticism is obviously there. Like Trip said, the shooting is surprisingly good. But I like how he interacts on the floor with his teammates. That's a big thing. Like if anybody that really played ball, his communication on and off the floor with his teammates is pro level already, and that's very exciting for me to watch. When he's already got all the tools in the box, and then when you have that next level thing already, he's gonna be something special. He's gonna be a problem. He's gonna be a big problem in Chicago. Y'all had Jordan and Scotty. Then y'all had Derrick Rose. Now y'all got this kid, man. Congratulations.
Yeah, I think all the guys have been good. Obviously, again, we're talking summer league where they're going to get the ultimate green light and they get to put up as many shots and make as many mistakes as they want. Keep in mind, Darren Peterson the other night had 8 turnovers and 9 fouls. And that's not a knock on him. That's just highlighting. That's what it is in summer league. You let the rookies kind of just go, whatever it is. I think all the young guys have looked good in summer league. I'm not going to say one particular standout, but I do like, I like what I've seen from AJ. I like what I've seen from Darren. I like what I've seen from Caleb. So I like all the guys, and I'm just interested to see what they're going to look like during the season, man.
And let me real quick speak to AJ, because I've been his biggest critic, of course. I just have been. And Trip, Eric, both of y'all been telling me we got one. Yeah, I think you're right. I think y'all are right, man. I'm seeing it's still some things I want to see cleaned up, but that can be coached. As long as he's coachable, them things can be cleaned up. But the ability to get in his spot without a lot of movement, because one of my biggest things is wasting motion in basketball. People make it so hard. You're doing way too much. All you need to do, like if you watch Michael Jordan highlights, Mike used to catch the ball, maybe take 2 dribbles and score. All you got to do is get in your spot, know where you want the ball, get in your spot, and execute. And he looks like he has that down already. So, yeah, we got one.
Yeah, I think y'all do. Let's get to everybody's favorite topic. It's day 15 of the LeBron hostage negotiation. Trip, I'll let you go
strike.
first.
Trip,
Trip, you ain't got
until next season. I'm tired of
issues. Kyrie says any issues with how long LeBron is taking to make a decision. This fool loves it, but I think fans really care. And Rich Paul makes it like all 30 teams want him. Please, maybe 5 teams. Trip has had his boxes. Trip has had his stuff in boxes for 2 weeks now, waiting to find out where they're going. Trip, are you starting to get upset by the procrastination of the decision?
Not at all, bro. He gonna do what he gonna do. Let me just say this: that last part of that statement, I don't like that. Drop a dime on that right there. Maybe 5 teams. First of all, every team in the league, if they was getting LeBron at a steal price, is taking LeBron, and wherever he signs is gonna get him at a discount. So they'll take Bron. But you think it's only 5 teams that LeBron?
I don't think every team wants LeBron right now. I don't. If every team wanted LeBron James right now, we would hear about it. There would be teams every day that we hear the same teams petitioning for LeBron. And that's no knock on LeBron. Let's call it what it is. He's 42 years old. He's 42 years old. He's probably got a year or 2 left in the league. But teams aren't reshuffling their roster. Like, you make it seem like teams is making wild trades just to, let's see if we can get under the cap to go sign LeBron. Nah, a lot of teams is like, yo, we cool.
No, because wherever he signs, he's signing at a discount. So there's definitely team. First of all, I just seen all these voice notes and stuff they've been posting up to LeBron, Luke Kennard, and all these dudes making pitches to LeBron. These teams definitely will
same
sign
5 or
LeBron
6 teams
as at a discount.
It's the Sixers, it's the Warriors, it's Minnesota, it's Cleveland, and that's okay. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that. Kyrie is right in that regard. It's not like if all 30 teams wanted him, why aren't the Knicks or the Spurs having meetings with LeBron? Because the Spurs could fit him under their salary cap.
Hey Trip, do you think he's made his decision?
I think he's made his decision.
Yeah.
But I think he's just gonna take his time and do what he do.
Listen, I brought up a hypothetical trade. We'll bring it up. Anybody who's paying attention, let me know what y'all think of this trade. It's completely hypothetical, and I'm gonna give you the basis of why I think this trade could happen. If LeBron James were to say, Will, I know I sent you this. I don't think I sent it to you, Trip, though. If LeBron James were to say, I want to go to Philly, I'm really interested in going to Philly and playing next to Brown and Maxey, but I know the Embiid injury history is probably going to prevent us from taking that next step to be a championship team. And he tells Philly this. He says, listen, I'm willing to come here if y'all can figure out a scenario to trade Embiid away. Would Philly trade Joel Embiid and VJ Edgecombe to the Wizards to get Anthony Davis, and then the Wizards just throw in 2 add-ins, Coulibaly and Keyshawn George? It makes the salaries work. Philly is able to replace their 2 guard with younger options, and you're swapping the 2 big men. The key in all this, Anthony Davis, and this is why I say LeBron would have to make the call. Anthony Davis has this year, and then he's got a player option for the year after that. So if you're LeBron and you tell Philly, I'm going to sign a 2-year deal, you bring over Anthony Davis, basically the length of my contract matches his contract. Also, keep in mind, the Sixers are going to have to give Jaylen Brown that extension in 2 years anyway. So you're basically aligning your 3 biggest names on the roster, you're aligning their contracts, understanding that this is what it's going to be. We're going to try to run the table for these next 2 years before we got to give Jaylen Brown that new contract. On the flip side, if you're the Wizards, you get another great asset in VJ Edgecombe to pair with AJ Devance as your future. You're taking on an extra year of Embiid, but you're almost taking it on knowing the Wizards, I don't think, have any intentions of keeping Anthony Davis long-term anyway. So you're basically able to flip Anthony Davis for VJ Edgecombe. Trip, would you do that?
If I'm Philly, I'd do it. Even though I'm just trading one injury-prone superstar for another injury-prone superstar. But I feel like Anthony Davis can contribute more to a team that's looking like they're going to make a deep run in the playoffs. So if I'm Philly, I'd do it. I don't know if I would do it if I'm Washington, though, to be honest. Even though you get VJ, I just don't want Embiid. Like, even though I know it's kind of, he got a year left, but I think Washington is building something nice right now, and I don't want Embiid to throw that off if I'm Washington.
What you think, Will?
I actually just now it just came over me. Pause. That because remember when you proposed to trade to me, when you proposed this trade, I was like, go ahead and do it. But now what I'm gonna do with Sar if Embiid's there.
I mean, is Embiid playing more than 40 games? Sar's gonna play.
Right.
It's not like Sar's not gonna
you
play.
Have Embiid come off the bench, or you gonna have Sar play the 4 now? Like what you?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What would I'd have to? Because
he's $64 million to come off the bench.
Because the plan is for him to be a starter. Yeah. So Embiid got to play the 5. So am I making Sar play the 4, which I don't like that at all. I don't like him at the 4 at all.
We're first of all, is Joel Embiid playing 50 games?
Probably not.
Okay, hold on. It's very simple. The last 3 years, Embiid hasn't even played 40 games in any of those seasons. So to think he's gonna play 50 games is a stretch. All right, that's first. Secondly, just because Embiid starts doesn't mean Embiid has to play 35 minutes a night.
Yeah,
he could start and still be on a 25-minute a night restriction, and Sarr gets a majority of the minutes at center. So you could start Embiid, but give him backup minutes as a way to try to preserve his body and understanding, like, listen, we want to try to get the most out of you this season. So instead of you playing 30 or 35 minutes a night, you're really going to play 25. And when you're out there, just max out for those 25 minutes. But Sarr will get a majority of the minutes.
See, my main concern for Washington is that we get back value for Davis, because Davis has never been in my plans, as you know. I don't think he'll play a game for us. He's never been in our. I don't think he's been in our plans. I think he was always a moving piece.
Good pickup. I will say that getting VJ in that trade would be a really good pickup.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that part.
I think if you get the one of the issues that I think the Wizards are going to come across, and this is going to become kind of like, if they keep Anthony Davis, the best way I can put it is they keep Anthony Davis, and they say Anthony Davis has a pretty healthy season. The Wizards are going to be a playoff team. But also what's going to happen is it's going to force their hand then to have to give Anthony Davis a new contract. It almost becomes a show and prove. Like, listen, I did my part. I helped get us into the playoffs. I want my new contract.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the moment you go down that road, I've said this from day one, the moment you go down that road is where it gets super tricky. You already give Trey over $200 million. If you give Anthony Davis a similar contract, you're basically saying this is our team moving forward. We're not going to be able to make more moves. And this goes to a point we're going to talk about it later. Somebody posted a comment about the Celtics. The modern NBA, it really is tough to keep two high-paid guys, not even two stars, two high-paid guys on your roster. So if you're the Wizards, I think this is an opportunity. You get VJ, who's on his rookie deal, going into his second year. You're going to have AJ as a rookie. You're going to have Sarr on his rookie deal. Only guy you're really paying is Trey Young. Accumulate as many young assets as you can now. And I think NBA teams have to start looking at building their roster similar to the way NFL teams build their roster. In the NFL, to be successful, you got to have the quarterback on a rookie deal and then fill out the rest of the team really, really quickly. So that way, by the time you give the quarterback the money, I got everything else in place. We're in position to be successful. And if I'm the Wiz, I think that's the approach I take. I want to get as many young assets in here right now. Get them all in here right now.
The player salaries increase at a way faster rate than the salary cap per team. So now we're to the point where it's harder to keep up. You can't have three max guys. Remember, there's a time you can have three max guys and do some things. Now you can't do that. Now you're lucky if you can get two max guys.
You're talking about Philly.
I was talking about any team to get two.
Oh.
Like, there was a time when you could possibly even get three max guys on a roster. Now it's hard enough to get two because the salary caps, the player salary have increased so much. So if you look at the prior to trading Jaylen Brown and the contracts there, when you think about it, Tatum and Brown's contract, that's a lot of your salary cap with just two players. Even though they're both all, MVP level, caliber players, it's still a lot of your cap space for two guys.
Yeah, and that's why I say the modern NBA does not allow you to do that. The penalties for being an apron team and being a repeat apron team are too harsh.
Who's negotiating this?
Say that again?
Who was the head of the Players Association while all this was being negotiated?
Is it still Chris Paul at the president of the Players?
Because I was thinking, I knew he was before. I was just making sure because they fucked themselves.
Yeah, they did. They allowed to basically put a hard cap on player salaries because you can. So, but this is the tricky part of it too. They were able to negotiate the incentive part of it, right? Because if you make all NBA, if you're an all-star, if you win awards, it allows you to become eligible for the Supermax, which every player wants. But on the flip side, it hurts your team too much. And this is a league-wide issue. What Boston is dealing with right now.
Van Fleet is the president right now.
Fred Van Fleet.
Van Fleet. But how long have they been under these? How long have they been under this agreement that they're under right now? Did Chris Paul do that?
Like 2 years in.
Well, he's in 2025. He got in July of
this
2025.
this CBA is like 2 years in.
So there's probably would have been Chris Paul. Then I think it was the last
maybe
president.
The point is though, what the Celtics had to do, a lot of teams are going to have to do. The Knicks are going to face the same situation. If Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't
Towns takes
if Karl-Anthony Towns doesn't take a hometown discount, we know Jalen Brunson's going to get his new deal. So then what's going to happen? Either Bridges or OG going to have to get shipped out because there's no way that you can keep the nucleus
all
together.
of them. Yeah,
right. Unless guys take a little less. That's why, and I said this on Monday, Wemby leaving $50 million on the table wasn't just about, oh, look how unselfish Wemby is. It was almost a message to the other guys because guess what? After next year, when Castle's 3 years in, he's eligible for his extension. And the Spurs are going to say, listen, Wemby set the example. We need you to leave a little bit of money on the table so that way we can keep Dylan Harper. If not, we're going to have to do what OKC did years ago and trade you the way they traded James Harden.
My response would be Wemby's making $252 million still. So if y'all not paying me that, I can't take no discounts. So yeah, I can't.
But hold on. Again, but remember, Wemby's contract is dictated by awards. He just won Defensive Player of the Year.
I know that.
So no. What I'm saying is what Castle's going to be eligible for is not going to be the same amount of money.
Yeah.
Contract, he was eligible for that based off of All NBA and winning an award. Castle won't be eligible for that same max, but they're still going to ask him, hey, leave 20 million, leave 30 million on the table so that way we can take care of Dylan Harper. Because right after Stephon Castle, then Dylan Harper is going to be eligible for his extension.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying. So what's his max? Because let's just say if his max is 200 million, right? Let's just say that's his max. Personally, I'm still going to look at Wemby and be like, well, him taking a discount, he's still at 252. If I take a discount on his 200, I ain't going to be at the 200 no more. So I need to stay right here.
Listen, and Stephon Castle would be justified in saying that. I'm not saying you have to take a pay cut.
Oh no, but the team is going to try though. They're going to try him.
Of course, that's the significance of the Wemby discount because now you can say our leader is taking less. So now if we ask you, you shouldn't be offended. If you don't want to take less, I completely understand it. But if you don't want to take less, keep in mind, then we're probably going to lose Dylan Harper.
Now, does Wemby have is he paying taxes in France and the United States on his paper?
There's no state income tax in Texas. He ain't got to pay nothing in France.
All right. See, then that's not a discount.
Shout out to Kyrie. Will, he said you got the whole family dying laughing, man. He said, yo, my 3 sons and daughters are in tears with Will saying it came on me.
Hey, Jesus.
Shout out to Kyrie, man. Those are the intricacies. Like I said, to the trade that I proposed, the reason I really love it for the Wiz, get as young as possible right now. Get your guy now. Because if you give Anthony Davis that extension, you are really locked into these 2 veteran guys that are going to eat up 60 to 70% of your cap. And then you're not going to really be able to make other moves around the young guys.
And AD is older and injury prone. So you
32.
And he was never part of the long-term plan. He was always a chip in the long-term plan. He's not. I don't think he's going to play a game for us, but I guarantee you he won't be playing for us in February. He's a moving piece, and people, I try to tell you, like we have a lot of young good players, and the way we're building it, I try to remind y'all, our GM Will Dawkins was the assistant GM in OKC. A lot of similarity. We don't have the plethora of picks that they've had to be able to build up. But we're making some very savvy moves that are very similar to things that you saw in OKC when they were starting to build what they're doing. So
I think he's done a good job. But again, the biggest difference this April now is going to force teams to make quicker decisions on their roster.
And that's horrible for basketball as a whole.
It is.
It's like, how dare you draft well? You know what I'm saying? How dare you?
This is going to be, some people are going to view this as like a shock take or clickbait. But the NBA is about to approach is probably darkest era since the crack epidemic in the NBA. Because between roster construction, between the gambling scandals, between the deals that are being made, the NBA is about to take a big PR hit. It's going to happen. There are people, this Kawhi Leonard situation, I don't see it in the comment section. There's real talk that Kawhi Leonard's contract may get voided because of the undertaking. Right. He may not even end up going to Toronto. The trade might not go through. He may get voided and become a free agent. There are people already starting to investigate this Gary Trent contract in Milwaukee, which somehow has flown under the radar. Gary Trent went from signing back-to-back veteran minimum deals to somehow this year Milwaukee offered him a 4-year, $65 million contract, even though he just came off his worst statistical season. And there are people, yes, Gary Trent.
Wait, his dad hooped, right?
Yeah, his dad hooped.
Shocking the man.
There are people who are already saying, there are people that are already saying that Milwaukee had kind of like a backroom deal with Gary Trent. They were kind of telling him, take the veteran minimum while Giannis was here so we can keep trying to sign people and then we'll take care of you later on. And people are starting to expose that a little bit.
What if Giannis wouldn't have left? Then what would have happened?
I mean, they might have still made a deal with him but the difference is they were able to own his bird rights, which means they could have gone over the cap anyway.
That's true, yeah.
But the part that really piqued people's interest in this is that he took back-to-back veteran minimum deals the last 2 years and then played poorly and then still somehow was able to walk away with $16 million on this current deal.
Yeah.
$16 million a year. So people are starting to question, like I said, the NBA is in a very tricky spot. You're going to have people starting to question this whole second apron thing, like what's going to happen. You already hear certain people speaking out saying like teams like OKC might have to make a tough decision on losing one of their guys because they can't afford to keep all three. San Antonio is going to be in a segment.
Yeah. My bad, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I just saw a situation where I can't remember what player it is, but it's a nondescript player where because of the new rules and everything, a team gave him an extra $3 million guaranteed because they signed him on the wrong day. What was that? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah. The Pelicans, Joe Dumars, completely incompetent as a GM. He's been bad for a long time. So there is language in the CBA that states if you're a 10-year vet and you've been on a team for more than 3 seasons, your vet minimum has an increase in it, right? So if he would have signed somewhere else, it would have only been for, like you said, like 3-point-something million. But because he's re-signing with his original team that he was with now anyway, and he's been in the league 10 years, he gets a bump of an additional $3 million. So his salary is like $7 million for a backup center who has rarely played over the last 3 or 4 years anyway.
But what they did was they gave him a 2-year deal, guaranteed, where the league is required to cover half the salary if you don't do that. And so the league has to, under the minimum maximum. The vet minimum, the league covers $1.5 million, and they didn't have to give him that extra. So the league, so instead of the league paying that $3 million, they got to pay it, and they one of the worst teams in the league. Well, they could have used that $3 million on some other resources for sure.
The operation down at the Pelicans is terrible. You look at their roster, you're like, there's some talent there, but then when you look at how they run as an organization, you're like, yeah, I can see why you guys are always bad every season.
The business of the NBA is what's crazy right now. That's why we have this bad CBA, and that's why I asked if Chris Paul who was in charge of it when it all happened. To me, and this is unpopular opinion, this CBA, the way it is now, and the way we're seeing it mess up teams, and where it's more likely to lose a player after a few years, this whole CBA was designed and to benefit that homie hopping mentality that was brought in by all them banana boat boys, led by Chris Paul, and then going from team to team. That wasn't going to hurt you if you're going from team to team. Now teams can't be built. Now teams can't be built to be long-standing franchises, to be dynasties, because this CBA, the way the math is working out, is looking like 2 years here, 3 years here, and bounce. And that's that homie hopping mentality that them banana boat boys brought in. Period. I'm sorry. They made it that.
Well, hold
They
on,
made
hold
the
on,
homie
hold on,
hopping
hold on,
cool.
hold on,
was the
hold on,
president
hold on.
when it went down.
The
CJ McCollum was the president.
CJ McCollum was the president when this was done. All right.
Yeah.
This current CBA and the second apron is really a response to Kevin Durant going to the Warriors. That's what this really is. Because keep in mind, we had a CBA after LeBron went to Miami. This was not negotiated. Remember, we had the short season in what, 2014, 2013?
Okay.
Right? So that was
season?
Yeah, remember we had the shortened season that started on Christmas Day.
Oh, yeah.
That was like 2014, 2015, around then. So we had a CBA after the quote-unquote Banana Boys pause and LeBron going to Miami. This wasn't negotiated in that. This CBA, I think, is a direct response to Kevin Durant, because what the Warriors did, and it was so smart, they were able to manipulate it where, remember, Curry took far less than the max because he was coming off the ankle injury, right? Draymond was just becoming an all-star at that time, so he wasn't getting a max. So they were able to manipulate the cap where they left themselves the space to sign him outright. What the league is saying now is, we're not going to give you that space because we have all these escalator clauses for players. So if we had this current CBA 10 years ago, Steph Curry would have had to got the max because he was already an all-star. He was already a second NBA, all-NBA guy. So it would have been tough to give him way less than that because the escalator clauses would have already kicked in. That's what this CBA is really doing. It's rewarding guys for making teams, getting awards. But on the flip side, it's penalizing your team. Because if you get two guys who are, let's say hypothetically next year, if Wemby's all-NBA first team and Stephon Castle's all-NBA second team, that would have completely fucked up their contracts. Because now you got guys who are entitled to an escalator clause that now wouldn't allow us to make any other moves, right? And then you start getting into the apron talk of it. That's why I said the Knicks are going to be in that tough position next year. So all-star appearances, MVP votes, all those things factor in. That's why Boston, I'm going to bring up this comment too, because somebody who brought it up about Boston, since we're talking about it, might as well get to it here. Right here. Shout out to Trev. He said, reports the Celtics want to surround Tatum with depth and role players while not bringing a star to split shots, according to Sean Devane. It's not just about splitting shots. It's the contracts. You cannot realistically and business-wise, economically, doesn't make sense to have two guys who are making $50 plus $60 million a year. That will eat up damn near 70% of your cap.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm not a fan of the Jaylen Brown trade. We talked about it already. I thought they rushed it. I thought they got a bad deal. But economically, they were in a tough spot. Jaylen Brown coming off of 6th place MVP votes, all-NBA second team. He was going to be due for one of those escalator clauses where it's like, you got to give me the super max. You can't have him and Tatum both making $60 plus million a year and then think, oh, we're still going to fill out the rest of the roster. There's not enough money to go around.
The bigger issue, why are there salary caps in the NBA and even in the NFL? Why are there salary caps only in the leagues that are majority brown?
They don't want the Knicks to be the Yankees.
That's really what it is.
That's why they don't want the Knicks to be the Yankees, because if you take away salary cap in the NBA, New York is everybody's going to want to come play in New York City.
New York and LA would dominate every free agency.
Yeah, you're going to make so much money because you're going to make so much money outside of basketball if you're a player, because you're going to be winning because you're going to pretty much have whoever you want on your team.
That's not true. It's a lot of markets that if they had unlimited funds
There's no market bigger than New York.
Well, hold on, Will. None. Hold on.
There's no market bigger than New York.
It is.
So you think the Giants would be bigger than the Cowboys if it was a no salary cap?
The Giants is right there with the Cowboys. And so you're talking about as far as the team.
Hold on.
Football's
Football's a little different because
no, I'm talking about both leagues. I'm saying both leagues that are mostly brown have salary caps. That's why is that, but the NHL doesn't. The baseball doesn't.
because that's what the players agreed to. Major League Baseball players have been fighting back against salary cap for decades. It's not like they haven't tried it. Baseball has tried to implement a salary cap, and the Players Association says no. That's why they had the strike in '94. That's probably why they're gonna have a strike in another year or two, because baseball wants to stop. And what Tripp said is true, because look at what's going on in baseball. The Dodgers signed every big free agent. The Dodgers have an all-star damn near every position on the field. And guess what? The next 2 or 3 big names that are available next year, the Dodgers are going to try to sign them too. They don't care who's already on the roster. Let's get the next big name. And baseball understands that it's hurting the economics of the game, because there's no way, as good as the Milwaukee Brewers or the Tampa Bay Devil Rays or any of these smaller market teams are, there's no way you can compete to win a championship when the Dodgers can roll out an all-star pitcher every night. You just can't do it. It's the same thing that George Steinbrenner used to do with the Yankees. When the Yankees were signing all-star after all-star after all-star, you just can't. The smaller markets can't compete. And if you want to keep competitive balance, if you want to give smaller markets an opportunity to feel like they can win, you have to have a salary cap.
But then you had the Marlins win how many times?
And hold on, think about how the Marlins did it the first time.
With the lowest salary cap in baseball.
Right. But look back, if we're going to say that, let's throw the facts out there. The first time they won the World Series, they went and spent money on Gary Sheffield, Moises Alou. They went and signed every big name free agent that they could. They won the World Series. And then the very next offseason, they traded away all their stars.
They got rid of everybody. Yep.
Yeah,
but then they won it again, like later, right? Like
and they
recently.
Did the same thing again. They traded away all their guys after. They couldn't afford to keep them.
But they got the chips. The ones they got, I'm just saying. It's just weird to me. I don't know why we should be telling NFL and NBA teams how much they can spend on contracts.
We shouldn't be telling, but again, the
players, and it's not that we are; it's the owners are.
I know, but it's every league would implement a salary cap if they could. The owners want it because it makes it easier to negotiate with players. If we know, hey, we're operating with this cap and I can only give you this, great, it works in my favor. The players. Realistically, the NBA, there's no reason that the NBA can't just go on strike and say, hey, we're not coming back until we get rid of the salary cap. The players could do that. The players, this is what the players are negotiating. This is what the players are accepting. And the players have been happy with the split, 51-49. The players get, the ownership gets the 51%, the players get 49%, but they get a part of the TV deal. They get a part of all this back end money. So the players have been okay with that. But if the players held firm, again, Major League Baseball Players Association has held firm for decades and said, we're not accepting a salary cap. And even now, when you can look up interviews when they've asked current players and they said, no, we're not accepting a salary cap. We'd rather strike than you guys put a cap on what we can earn. So it's really about the players. That's what we need to be asking. The players, why are you guys accepting a salary cap?
Don't make sense.
So, but to the original part of the question too, the NBA, the NFL, from economic standpoint, they want it because it creates parity. If you have no parity, people lose interest. And it's why people, I think a big reason, not the only reason, but I think a big reason people don't pay attention to baseball is because it's become very repetitive. You know the teams that are going to be competitive every year. It's the big spenders. There is no Cinderella team. There is no team that came out of nowhere. It's the big spenders. Will, even you as a Nats fan, y'all won the World Series, and what did y'all do? Y'all literally let your World Series MVP walk the next season because you didn't want to pay him.
I'm still mad at them for that.
Right. So,
and they paid Steven Strasburg, who played 16 more innings after they paid him.
Right.
Or 26, something crazy. Yeah,
the smaller markets.
You opening wounds.
In order to create competitive balance, the smaller markets need to have a playing field that's even. If we're all working with only $300 million, then at least it makes it even, because if I hire the right general manager, I can build a team under that. But if I'm working with $50 million and that team over there is working with $200 million, they're always going to have an advantage. They can go get the guys. And the Dodgers are a prime example of that. Let's shout out to the comment section. Shout out to everybody locked in with us. Make sure you are subscribed to the podcast. I see people coming in and out of the Instagram. Wednesday night, 7:30 p.m. YouTube, Instagram, and Kick. Shout out to, I see the comment section. We got a bunch of new people in here. TJ, I'm going to get to that question in a second. Make sure you guys are also subscribed to Real Fans Real Talk. We're going to be live on Monday, 7 p.m. And as I highlighted at the start of the show, as we get through the summer and get closer to the NFL season, I'm going to revamp the schedule. It's going to be more dates, more lives, more streams. So definitely lock in. You see our social media handles. Make sure you are following us. Send over your questions, your comments over on social media as well. We'll address them and bring them up on the live. Let's get through some of the comments real quick, though, because we're already an hour in on the live tonight. Pooh says, and Will, you can go first. Has any team made any moves this far that should make Knicks, Spurs, OKC lose sleep?
Hey, Pooh. Not really. Yeah, but Philly. Wait. Who's the teams that you listed? Spurs, OKC. Yeah, I say Philly because I mean Jaylen Brown adding him to the mix, it's a problem, and he gonna have a chip on his shoulder, bigger than the Golden Nugget. So it's gonna be something going down. Tripping E. I don't know if y'all noticed all the little Jay-Z lyric references I've been dropping through this episode because I watched y'all Monday, and I know it was very heavy on the weekend, on the Jay-Z weekend. I haven't chimed in on that yet, but I've been dropping little lines here and there just to,
They waiting on us to talk about Jay-Z.
Yeah, it's in the comment section.
Yeah. But I think that moving Philly is major. You got to pay attention to that one for sure.
We're gonna get to this question in a second. I'm gonna say, the Philly move could be very major. I've already said I think Jaylen Brown and Max is gonna be a great duo. I don't think there's been a move in the West to really close the gap. I think it's Spurs and OKC is the best two teams. Denver didn't really do anything to upgrade their team. Minnesota, I think if anything, took a step back by letting go of Randall and Reed. LaMelo's a good player, but I mean, you're so guard oriented.
They're gonna be the biggest show on hardwood in Minnesota. But I don't know what kind of wins that's gonna turn to. But the one thing though, Pooh, OKC, all they had to do was get healthy because when Jalen Williams comes back, they're gonna be right there in the mix. So I mean, I know they were part of the question, but when they get back healthy, they're gonna be right there in a championship contender for sure.
That's a fact. Shout out to Squeeze. I see. I'm gonna actually combine the two Jay-Z questions, Squeeze, because I saw that. Will, I'll let you start here. Kyrie wants to know, give your thoughts or your recap of Jay-Z's 3 nights at Yankee Stadium. I want to combine that question with this one from Squeeze. As I mentioned, Jay is one of the GOATs. However, from the Nets to the NFL, Kaepernick, Target, etc., his pattern of co-opting movements also speaks for itself. This is from Eton Thomas. That isn't Squeeze's thoughts. He's repeating what Eton Thomas said.
Eton? Yeah.
He said thoughts on Eton. He said thoughts. Eton isn't a hater either. So, Will, go ahead. I'm going to let you go first, and then we're going to kind of go around. And
what was the first part of the question? What was the first? My thoughts on the weekend? I wish I was there. What a time. What a time. If you my age, which I know a lot of the viewers are not, but if you my age, that was like our adulthood in music on stage for 3 nights in a row. Like from night 1 to night 3, and then the set list being different every night. And the artists, I was saying it before the Giant. I forget who I was even talking to. I was like, just imagine the guests that he's going to bring out because of his catalog, because of the hits, because of the amount of people that he's worked with. And they were all there. I can't think of a feature on a Jay-Z song that I missed. Like, I was like, oh, so-and-so wasn't there. Everybody came out for it. And to me, it was a reminder for all y'all youngers to be hating on us old heads and be hating on our music and be hating on what we do, which no other genre of music experiences this. It's like self-hate in the Black community, which is another conversation for another day. But you never see rock stars hating on. I mean, fans of New Rock Stars hating on the Rolling Stones and shit like that. But anyway, it was a culmination of everything we've been trying to tell y'all. He sold out Yankee Stadium for 3 nights. This ain't a basketball arena. Stadium traffic is way different. And we talking about Yankee Stadium, and we talking about the GOAT. To me, like, he showed you why. Like, if you don't think he's the GOAT, that's cool. But this weekend was not a reason why you don't think that. Everybody came out for that man, and not only did everybody come out and perform, then you see the videos of the scenes of everybody that was in attendance. And rumor had it, so night 3, it was a 4-hour delay, right? Rumor has it it was because of a presidential presence. I don't know, was that true? Did y'all hear that?
No, the 4-hour delay. The 4-hour delay is because people who didn't have tickets try to rush a gate.
Oh, so they was crashing the jump.
Yeah, shout out to my homegirl Katrina. She was there the second and third night, and I had a couple other people that was there, and they validated it. They was like, so what social media circulated was a little bit untrue, because there were people who got in early. There were some people who got in around 6 o'clock. Then there was people who noticed that there was an area that they was trying to just get through the gate, and it was a faster flow of people coming through. So people who didn't have a ticket thought they could just rush through and they would be fine. They had to shut down the venue. And then Jay even announced at the start of the show, for the people who were already inside who didn't know that's what happened, he announced and said, yo, for the safety of everybody here, I wanted to make sure that we got everything situated and make sure everybody was able to come in. Because he was like, and Jay, to Jay's credit, and again, this is the part that social media won't post. Jay even said, I could have started on time, but I didn't want to create a stampede of people from outside trying to hurry up and get in and somebody get hurt. So I wanted to make sure that security took care of what they had to do, and then everybody was able to come in. It started late. I think that joint didn't end till like 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, that's what they said. They ain't started till like 12 or 12:30. He robbed for 3 hours.
As soon as he took the stage, he addressed what happened and then said, if I would have started on time, I know it would have created a stampede from people who are outside trying to get in, and I didn't want to get anybody hurt.
But what a moment in time, man. My biggest regret is that I wasn't there for any of those nights. But man, I'm telling y'all, if you grew up when we grew up and lived hip hop in its cold, like I'm 47 years old. I've lived out through the 80s, 90s, Rakim, to Run DMC, Rakim, going to the layers of hip hop. Jay was basically, he's like Elvis, for real. Like, he's the hip hop Elvis.
Hold on. He ain't, don't compare Elvis, because that was
not on the. I'm just talking about icon level.
Yeah, he's not talking about person. He's talking about internal.
I'm talking about icon level.
Y'all know Elvis stole that from.
Artistically, he's bigger than Elvis.
Yeah, none of that stuff. I'm just talking about as far as the icon.
I think icon and artistically he's on a level with the Beatles.
Yeah,
he's on that.
That's what. But I was just saying it as a solo artist. You know what I mean? But yeah, okay, that's fair. The Beatles. That's Paul McCartney and Ringo and all of them wrapped into one. But to bring it back, I know I went a little bit off the rails. That weekend. For that weekend, man, that's for anybody to ever question his place in music history, to anybody to question his relevance now, which is crazy. The Jay-Z disrespect is crazy.
Somebody's questioning it.
To question his relevance now, name me one of these name me one of these people that's going to have that same effect and be able to do that same thing for 3 days straight at Yankee Stadium.
Hold on, let Trip give his thoughts. Trip, go ahead, man.
Sorry, man, they ain't been out here wilding again. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, according to Dame Dash, it was all corny. It was all corny.
Dame Dash said he played out Yankee hats. Dame really said, I'm tired. First he said he was mad at him for not wearing the Yankee fitted at at the Roots picnic, and then he said he was mad that he wore the Yankee fitted, and over the weekend he said, "Yeah, Yankee house is played out now." Dame Dash, man, shut the fuck up. Nobody's listening. I'm not trying to hear you no more. Put your teeth in your mouth or put them on the nightstand. Go somewhere. Try to sell some old Rockaway sneakers at Ross. Nobody's checking for you, bro. Why do people keep putting microphones in his mouth?
I'm mad. Pause. Ooh, super pause.
Oh my God. Will, come on, man. Come on. Like, stop.
Listen, hold on. I want to say, now I do agree. I'm mad. I have a lot of respect for Art of Dialogue. I know he's been grinding for a very long time. Trip, you know, homie that runs Art of Dialogue. He's been grinding for a minute, so I respect his hustle and I respect the platform he's built. But I'm mad at Art of Dialogue because he keep giving Dame a platform, and at some point you got to say, bro, I'm done. We not talking to you anymore. You have nothing relevant going on right now. You are still, and I texted this to Trip the other day. Dame might be the only guy who, for the last 20 years, has all he's talked about is Jay-Z. For 20 years at this point, you ain't got no new projects. Yeah, you ain't got no new projects. You ain't got nothing we should be checking for other than you telling us why you're mad at Jay-Z.
He's the worst ex-girlfriend in history.
No. This I'm gonna tell you, this is how corny.
Came out your mouth, Bianca.
Hold on, this how corny Dame Dash is. This is how corny Dame is, and I hate to say this because I like Dame at one point, but this is how corny he is. He had the nerve to sit there and be like, you keep flaunting your wife in our face. Yeah, we know she your wife. We get it, right? Dame, you've been talking about Aaliyah for 20 years. She been dead, and you still keep talking about your relationship with Aaliyah though. But you mad at Jay because he has moments where he honors his wife or he brings his wife into the fold. That's what he
does. Is so corny, man.
Yeah, he's super corny. Like you said, then on one hand,
he represents y'all wrong because he be trying to act like he's so New York.
No,
that's not the representation of New York that y'all need, man. He is horrible.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think that at one time Dame was a boss. Dame had put people in position. And damn near everybody of significance that was part of the Rock has evolved except Dame. Because Cam is doing his own thing as a boss. Jay been doing his own thing. You know what I'm saying? Jim Jones doing his own thing. No matter how you feel about Jim doing his own thing. And yet Dame is like, yo, bro, you telling me all these other people, not only can they evolve, but they carved out new lanes for themselves.
And what's funny is when he be hating, he be like,
Kanye.
Yeah. But what's funny, he be like, well, ask Oskino how JB, like, hold up. It's like, no, how about everybody else that got rich off of what y'all was doing? He be bringing up the most obscure artists in the whole clique.
I saw DeHaven, who is an old friend of Jay. He was with Jay before they popped off. Him and Oskino doing a podcast, and he's sitting there talking about stories from 25, 30 years ago as to like, oh, this why I don't fuck with Jay. Bro, that was 30 years ago.
Yeah, like this line ain't on now.
Bro, newsflash, Jay don't fuck with you.
Like you had just got your driver's license, bro.
Jay
you still mad?
Jay don't fuck with you. I'm gonna say this though, Squeeze. I'm gonna say this in terms of what Etan Thomas said.
Oh yeah, that part.
Let's get to that. Shout out to Etan Thomas. I think he's a very intelligent brother.
Member of the group for the love of the game.
For the love of the game. I respect his opinions on a lot of things, but I also feel like it's becoming a little bit of clickbait. And here's why. We are talking about Jay-Z, his deal with Target. I talked about this the other day. Colin Kaepernick has exclusive rights for his book to come out at Target. Why are we not criticizing Colin Kaepernick? Because they ain't to a standard that we're not holding other people to. And if we just want to talk music, Kendrick Lamar's last album came out at Target. Drake's album came out at Target. J. Cole's album came out at Target. A lot of these guys who are supposed to be pro-culture have let their project come out at Target. We're not mad at them. We only hold Jay to that standard. In terms of the NFL deal, let's, again, put it in proper perspective. Prior to Jay-Z, our culture and the people who look like us weren't getting many opportunities at the halftime show. Since Jay-Z has taken over, it has been nothing but hip hop at the halftime show. So we want to be critical, but we never want to give praise for the changes that are being made. Jay's job with Rock Nation is not to change the NFL as a whole. He was brought in for the entertainment. He's done that. Also, it was Jay-Z and Rock Nation who pushed to have the end zone messages of end racism, stop hate. That was all Rock Nation.
Yeah, on the helmets, yep.
On the helmets. But again, we don't want to give Jay his proper credit for that. So we just want to criticize Jay.
It's cool to criticize him. That's what's crazy. It's like it's cool
because that's what creates the clickbait.
Yep.
Right? The Kaepernick situation is a very unique, and there's a lot of layers to the Kaepernick situation. I think a lot of people forget how complex that situation was. Colin Kaepernick, for people that might not remember, had already lost his starting job. When he started protesting, people didn't even know he was protesting in the beginning. They thought he was just mad that he lost the starting job. It wasn't until a reporter had asked him, hey, I noticed you didn't stand up for the national anthem, that he went into why he was not standing. But people thought originally he was mad about losing the starting job.
Yeah.
So let's not act like, do I think Colin Kaepernick was blackballed? Yes, to a certain extent. He was better than some quarterbacks that were in the league. He was better than some quarterbacks that were getting an opportunity. But in that same regard, let's not forget that Colin Kaepernick turned down an extension with the 49ers, was trying to force his way out of the 49ers, lost his starting job, was upset.
And then had a hide-and-go-seek workout.
Right. Was upset about that, then started protesting.
Remember the hide-and-go-seek workout?
Hold on, I'm going to get to that. I've always said, you can look back to when Tripp and I used to go in studio. I always said it was the right message, wrong messenger. You had somebody who was upset about something different, trying to deliver a message that it was the right message, but maybe Colin Kaepernick wasn't the right guy to deliver it.
Yeah.
And then if we get to the workout, let's not forget, Colin Kaepernick had already sued the NFL, had already agreed to an amount that we never heard about, which is, we talked about this on Monday for the people, Eton Thomas, he said, he tried to call Jay a liar by saying, oh, people who know the Colin Kaepernick situation say Colin Kaepernick never signed an NDA. That's not true, because we never heard about the amount that the NFL gave Colin Kaepernick. It wasn't an NDA. Look up the reports. All of them says an undisclosed amount, because they never released a figure that they settled on. Still got to work out. Keep that in mind. Think about if you were to sue your current employer and then try to get a job back there after suing your current employer. Sue the employer, still got to work out. Decided 1 hour before the workout, nah, I'm not going to go to that location. Y'all meet me at this high school field. Then when no team showed up, he got in front of the cameras and made it seem like, see, look, the NFL ain't messing with me. I'm out here, I'm working out, I'm just trying to get a job. Nobody showed up. Bro, you switched the location literally an hour before it was supposed to start.
Yeah, that's what I was referring to. Yep.
And several media personalities and sources all said there were 20 NFL teams that were showing up to his workout when he was supposed to have it in the Georgia Dome. Well, I think they call it something different now. I think it's called the Mercedes-Benz Dome now. But in Atlanta, and he decided an hour before the workout, we're going to this high school field. At that point, all the scouts was like, well, I'm not going all the way over there. My plan was to be here.
And they were there talking to each other from what I remember.
Yeah,
like,
there. When they panned the camera, all the scouts were there at the Mercedes-Benz Dome for the workout that he never showed up to.
Let me I just want to say two things, Eric, and then you can go to the next comment. Right now in 2026, the New York Yankees have the #1 selling hat in MLB, and we also have the #1 all-time selling hat. That would be the navy blue Yankee. But continue. Sorry, just need to get that out there.
Dame, what's happening, Dame? Your business acumen.
It's corny.
Your business acumen's going on.
I would never want to wear the hat that everybody else is wearing. It's corny.
Yeah, he said the Yankee hat is played out now. That's the biggest hater. Like,
nah, fuck that. You know what's
think of some hater statements. What's the biggest? Supporters. Think of a bigger hater statement that you've ever heard. The Yankee hat. If you got it, put it in the comment section. The Yankee hat is now played out because Jay-Z wore it for 3 nights in a row at sold out shows at Yankee Stadium. What?
Well, remember when Jay said I made the Yankee hat more famous than a Yankee can?
And he was right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what's super corny, and Dame, there's nothing Dame can ever say. Going on live and talking shit and your teeth jump out your mouth.
Dude, I told him that's
the corniest shit ever. Fuck falling out. The teeth jumped out his mouth.
And then had the nerve to make a song called Cheap Teeth.
Then yo, no, hold
It's
on.
a diss record.
Hold on. Not only did he make a song called Cheap Teeth, he then remember, I don't remember, it's still on his page. I think I gotta find it. He sat down with his new dentist and was talking about the issues with the old teeth. But now I got my dentist, so now I got the new teeth in. What the fuck are we talking about, Dane? We seen your teeth literally jump out of your mouth on live. You talk all this bullshit and you ain't got enough dental care to get a good pair of dentures in.
for real, man. That's crazy.
You talk all this
no
bullshit.
poly grip. Poly grip's over the counter, my D.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You could have the poly grip.
You talk all this bullshit. You talk all this bullshit.
You ain't got no CVS around the crib.
You got child support that's over 15 years past due. But you talk all this bullshit. Go ahead, Trip.
Bosses don't pay child support, Eric. Come on, stop.
I guess
Next
not.
next question. Next question.
But never forget, he dated Aaliyah 25 years ago. Never forget.
But Jay is corny for always bringing his wife up.
Never forget. That dude's corny as hell, man.
Shout out to Pool. Shout out to Kyrie. Shout out to Pool. Who said, I love how y'all go hard for Jay-Z. Pause, super pause. And I respect it. Cats come on this and y'all clean it up quick. I know some of the youngins think y'all don't think Jay did nothing wrong. Great show. It's not about, and she says, I got Lil Wayne. We're gonna get to the Lil Wayne.
It's about facts.
She got Lil Wayne in what?
Well, hold on, I'm gonna get to that. There's a question about Lil Wayne that I'm gonna post right after this.
Okay.
It's not about that he done nothing wrong. I've said this a million times, and y'all killed me for what I said about Pop a couple weeks ago, right? When we did a comparison. Y'all was mad at me for that.
What'd you say?
No, because when I said, in the eyes of most people, Pac did nothing wrong, as if he wasn't convicted of a gang rape.
Yeah.
And forgot about that. Yeah.
But no, hold on. That wasn't the slander Pac. It was an example of when social media creates a narrative around you, people run with that narrative. So because Pac can do no wrong in so many people's eyes, they forget, like you said, that was a real thing. But on the flip side, because there's so many narratives created about Jay-Z and why people don't like Jay-Z, that becomes the story. Everything is Jay-Z did this, Jay-Z did that. I've said a million times, the Jay-Z Dame relationship is a prime example of what's wrong with social media. Everybody gets mad at Jay-Z for separating himself with Dame. What they never talk about is before they split, it's been documented that Jay-Z went to Dame and said, yo, Def Jam is offering me this, but if you just give me my masters from Reasonable Doubt, I'll never take that job. Dame said no. Dame said no, it's not good business. Well, I'm gonna give you that. So then Jay said, all right, so now I'm gonna make a business decision. I'm gonna take the Def Jam deal and Rockefeller's done. When Dame made a business decision, it was cool. When Jay made it, now he ain't loyal.
Yeah. See, that's the stuff that people don't pay attention to because that's not good. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
That's not what's on the articles. That's not what's on the headlines, That's what
I mean about the narratives that get created, though.
And that's what I be trying to say. That's what I say with my preempt everything with we were living through this. It's not repetitive history. It's not looking back. You had to be there. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I've been trying to tell people. You had to be there.
This is gonna be the last one. This was the Lil Wayne one right here. Shout out to TJ. Is there any rappers that can do a versus with Lil Wayne? I don't think so. Some will say Drake, Jay, Kanye, but Lil Wayne could dominate off just features too. What y'all think?
With that being said, what did Cool say about Wayne?
She got Wayne.
I think she was co-signing this comment when she said I got Wayne too.
Oh, okay. I got you. Go ahead, Phil.
Yeah, because at the end of hers, she goes, I got Lil Wayne. So I think she's talking about this. Yeah, whoever want to go first, go ahead.
I would like to first point you to Exhibit A from the Book of Wayne. I'm the best rapper alive since the best rapper retired. I believe he was talking about Jay-Z in that one. I'm just gonna put that out there. So that's just Exhibit A. Exhibit B. Has anyone seen a Wayne performance in recent years? What would you rate it? If you did see, you can put it in the comments. Have you seen a Wayne performance in recent years, and if you did, what would you rate the performance? And the reason why I say that is because the versus has turned into a performance battle outside of the track battle. Therefore, now you can add more names in that could beat Wayne in the versus. The same way we saw Jadakiss steal the energy in the versus battle with Dipset. You don't think Jada could go in there and steal that energy too? If you up in there, yeah, mama, and you high off, and all this other stuff, I think you might have to add a couple more names to the list. You could add 50 to that list. Because now when you're talking about energy and performance on that stage, that changes up a lot. Now, and you want to talk about, if we're just talking about catalogs, and Wayne features, who else sold out a show with their B-sides? Who else did that?
I was just about to say that, Trip. It's like Jay could come with features. He could come with just features.
I rest my case, Your Honor.
You agree though? If Jay can come to the verses with just feature verses.
Shoot. Listen, come on, man.
Y'all don't get it. Y'all just don't get it, man.
Listen, hold on.
I'm not talking about y'all too. I'm talking about the
No, I know.
The people that ask that shit, man.
Wayne is a legend. Wayne definitely is an all-time great. This
absolutely
is not shade on Wayne. But let's stop pretending like, if Wayne was on stage with another great, he would just completely outshine him. I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. If you're telling me Wayne won't get up there and do a bunch of gangster grill shit, yeah, that's cool. But that gangster grill shit is not gonna hit harder than some of Jay's biggest songs or Kanye for that matter. Like, we're not gonna pretend like Kanye don't have a crazy fucking catalog.
Jay got anthems.
Kanye got a crazy catalog, bro.
And Kanye's a performer,
bro. Did y'all see him
doing Jesus Walks in the verses?
Hey, yo, Jesus Walks is one of the greatest singles. Like, remember, hey Eric, remember a couple years ago we did the greatest hip hop singles of all time? Mm-hmm. We did the top 10 greatest hip hop singles of all time, like 3 years ago.
Who said, fellas, we in the ages 25 to 35-ish. Y'all gotta realize. No, we do realize that, Pooh. But we also reminding y'all, see, what happens too often is a lot of recency bias. Pooh, if y'all in the range of 25, 35, Wayne ain't dropped shit in the last like 8 to 10 years.
Yeah.
So what are y'all basing that off of anyway?
And all we asking y'all to do is appreciate how we got here. Like, these artists y'all be watching and listening to now, they got here because of, like, they didn't just show up. Like, you gotta like pay homage, man.
If the guy that you're picking says Jay-Z is the greatest rapper alive,
bottom line, I think Wayne is great. I think a Wayne Drake versus would be very interesting.
Oh, I got Weezy.
But I would say I got Weezy on that. I got Wayne on that. But if you're talking about the next step up, like a Kanye or a Jay-Z, nah, I don't think Wayne wins that battle. Because like I said, Kanye's catalog is so crazy. Kanye could go a million different directions with Wayne.
And what y'all need to understand is Wayne lyrically is up there. Well, excuse me, he's on that level. But I think what would separate, like, if you did a Wayne Jay-Z type of thing, it's the hits.
Yeah.
Wayne got a pen. He got a hell of a pen.
He definitely got hits.
But hits?
He not.
No, it's hoes all day.
I said this on Monday too, and this is why I think, in my opinion, Jay-Z's the greatest. But everybody's entitled to their own opinion. Keep in mind that it wasn't just that Jay-Z sold out 3 straight nights at Yankee Stadium. It was the fact that the songs he played on night one never got played again.
Right. That's what I was, yes.
Think
Never repeated the set list.
If your favorite artist did 3 straight nights at any venue,
it did do the same song,
and then said, whatever the 30 songs that I do night one, you will not hear them again the rest of this concert. Most people would tune out after night one because they're going to play their best songs night one. Jay did a show dedicated to an album that dropped 30 years ago. Think about how much the world has changed. Think about how we consume music has changed in 30 years. Right? Think about all the artists that have come and gone in 30 years. There's so many people that love to highlight, oh, this artist was the biggest artist that summer, not Jay-Z. Yep. And guess what? 30 years later, Jay can still do an album that at that time wasn't even commercially successful. It didn't go platinum out the gate. And yet 30 years later, he sells 50,000 tickets for the first night and then says, I'm gonna give you a second night, but it's gonna be a completely different album, different verses, the evolution of my music. Look how the music changed from Reasonable Doubt to Blueprint. Look how the sound,
444.
right?
Oh my God.
Sonically, how the music changed with Jay-Z. And then the demand was so crazy, I'm gonna give you a third night, but I'm still not gonna play none of those hits. So now I've already given you 60 songs.
A different track list every night.
And I'm not gonna give you none of those on the next one.
Yeah.
And everybody's coming. Everybody's showing up.
Well, that's 2 flavor files.
Man,
Bro, that was
everybody's showing up is what I'm saying. Everybody's showing up. Like I think y'all talked about it on Monday because I was watching this show Monday.
Tyler Perry was there.
Jeezy canceled this concert months ago to be at this concert.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Usher is touring right now with Chris Brown. He literally went from his show to the flight to New York to sing a hook on a song that he was never even on. Think about that.
Bro.
He showed up to sing a hook of a song that he was not a part of. In the middle of his tour with Chris Brown.
Hold on.
He was in DC this weekend, but he found a way to get to New York to show up to sing a hook that he never sang.
I saw Jay-Z. This is the only time I've seen Jay-Z in concert. I got to look up what was the name of the concert, the tour. But it was when he was on tour. Jeezy, it was him and Jeezy, and Trey Songz was the opening act. And this is like early Trey Songz. And he came to the Garden. This was easily, I want to say, maybe 15 years ago.
That was the tour when I know what you're talking about. That's when the joint with him and Alicia Keys was popping.
Yeah,
that was that tour.
Yeah, because they dropped that song right around when the Yankees won in 2000.
Yeah.
We talking like 16 years ago now.
Yep.
And I remember the show, and the one thing that stuck out to me about the show at the time, and mind you, this is before 444. This is before him and Kanye drop a project together. This is before a lot of these most recent features. I remember when my wife and I left the Garden that night, and I remember thinking like, yo, it's crazy how many hits Jay-Z has. Because mind you, we talking 2009, 2010. Jay did the crazy set at Madison Square Garden and then went into like way overtime where he just kept doing more and more joints because the people just want, he was like, yo, fuck it, we just gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And now to think like 16 years later, and like I said, when you really think about it, you did a show on Friday night, 30 songs. Did a show on Saturday night, 30 songs. Did a show on Sunday, 30 songs. And for us, there's still songs he didn't even do.
Yeah, that's wild.
It's still part of the catalog that he never even tapped into. Because
if he did the album, you got to think, right? Jay got 14 number 1 albums, so you have to give him 14 days to do each album.
Right. But what all I'm saying is, like,
damn, that'd be.
But no, hold on. I just want the listener. Shout out to Squeeze. I agree with you, Squeeze. Like, yeah, some people are just not gonna budge, and that's okay. I don't listen. My GOAT or my favorite doesn't have to be your favorite. I'm okay with that.
Eric, you talk about the Blueprint 3 tool.
What I'm not okay with, though, is uneducated opinions on something. Like you trying to use an uneducated perspective, not you specifically, Squeeze, but people who try to use an uneducated perspective on something as if like, oh, Jay can't be the greatest because of this. Like, yo, you don't even know what the fuck you're talking about. You just throwing random shit against the wall because social media told you this is what you should do.
It's just like basketball, really.
Right. Do your Googles. Do your research.
Listen, even
hold on. Trip, you're gonna appreciate this.
You just dropped another bar right there.
Right. We dropping bars all night. On Drug Dealers Anonymous, right? Then he say, Google's your friend.
Man, listen.
Type it in. Google's your friend, bro. Like you could do all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I saw this right here. TJ, shout out. He said the thing is, y'all have a great pitch, but people like who they like. I agree. I 1000% agree.
Exactly.
I came along in the middle of these times.
Who said that? Who said that?
TJ. Shout out to TJ.
TJ, I want to address you. TJ, you're exactly right. But the thing is like everybody can like who they like. Just don't disrespect who we like because they're older than y'all. And I feel like that's what be happening way too much. It's like the people we like are being very disrespected because they're not on here right now. They're not 25. They're not 30 years old. Like we get that. Like who you like, but don't disrespect the people that made it possible for the stuff that y'all are doing now. And that's what I feel like goes on way too much all across the board of a lot of things. We just talking about hip hop right now, but don't disrespect who got you here. And that's crazy.
TJ, shout out to Squeeze. It is an age thing, but I want to say this to TJ too. Shout out to TJ. Keep in mind, for the three of us, right? We never got to see Muhammad Ali, but we would never disrespect Muhammad Ali as if he wasn't a GOAT.
What a great.
He was prior to our generation, but we respected the fact that what Muhammad Ali did laid the groundwork for every boxer and entertainer that came after him.
Absolutely. That's a great point.
We never sat there and said, oh, Muhammad Ali was fighting trash cans and garbage workers. See, too often this generation will try to discredit what the previous generation did by making it seem like, oh, it wasn't that great. It wasn't that great what they did. No, what Muhammad Ali did was great. And I always say, when people ask me about boxing, the greatest boxer or the best boxer I saw with my two eyes was Floyd Mayweather. But that doesn't mean I'm telling you that's who I saw during my generation.
But you ain't gonna hit on nobody before them.
Right. I would never disrespect Muhammad. I would never disrespect Tommy Hearns, Marvin Hagler, all those guys who laid the groundwork for Floyd to be Floyd. They were the generation before me. So just because I didn't see them does not mean that I got to discredit them to now elevate my guy.
Right.
Too often.
That's a great point, man.
Too often, that's what we do. Because y'all want to elevate your guy, you make it seem like the previous guy did nothing. Don't do that. The previous guy put in a lot of work. He put in pain to get that notoriety. Same thing in basketball. We didn't grow up during the Wilt and Kareem and Bill Russell era.
But we studied it and we respected it. The respect is gone.
Talk basketball.
The respect is
what
gone.
We saw, but we're not discrediting those guys before them. Too many people will be like, "Oh, my generation, it gotta be the best because this is what I saw." No, what you saw might be the best for what you saw. But we're not gonna act like too many people. Oh, Russell Westbrook, he did the triple double. All right, Oscar Robertson was doing it first though.
Yes.
Again, do your Googles, do your research. Oscar was doing it too. It was just a different era, and you didn't get the same notoriety. Go ahead, Trip.
We in general, TJ, it's not no individual person that's on the live with us tonight. I just listen again. When we're not trying to get you to not like whoever you like, so that's not the issue. Like everyone, and again, I like Wayne, so this is not like I don't like Wayne.
Yeah, for real. I love Wayne.
When I asked the question earlier, when was the last time anybody has seen Wayne perform? I didn't see nobody drop nothing in the comments talking about the performance. And again, the versus has turned into a performance battle. So if your show is not up to par, you're gonna get washed in the versus. If you're going against somebody whose energy is on 1,000, and you like it don't matter what songs you playing, is not gonna work.
Actually, to even bring up, I mean, I wasn't gonna pour it on, but Wayne just had his tour kickoff.
Shout out to TJ.
Mr. D.
Shout out.
Wayne just had his tour kickoff in Maine, and he didn't show up.
Listen,
I said if you saw
Google that. This was like last week.
I want to highlight this. Shout out to TJ because I think these are all great comments. He says, I don't think anyone on here has dissed Jay. I love Jay, but he isn't in our time. I know Jay is up there, but Wayne, Drake, and even Nicki is our age bracket. But we love y'all OGs. Bro, we love you too. And again, it's not to knock nobody who's doing anything now. Our response is to the uneducated or uninformed criticism. If you got real legit argument as to why you're saying something, I respect it. But if you just throwing shit against the wall, I can't. He goes, so y'all talking in general, this ain't nothing personal against nobody in the chat, bro.
Absolutely not. We got love for all of y'all. And also, but how do you watch all the clips from this weekend and still feel like this wasn't a whole vibe that we've never seen in the last years of hip hop?
This is, we're about to wrap up. We're gonna go around and give our final thoughts. This, because of social media, this happens too often. We are now in a digital space where people say random things, make accusations, and then never have to acknowledge if they're wrong. They don't have to stand on those accusations or those claims. And I'm just gonna give y'all one scenario. There's a million, but I'm gonna give y'all one. There were people who were mad that Jay picked Kendrick Lamar for the New Orleans Super Bowl instead of Lil Wayne.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
We talked about it.
And we talked about it, and we said you can't pick, not to say you can't pick Wayne just because New Orleans, but you can't ignore Kendrick Lamar having the biggest song of the year and the most streamed artist at that time and say, hey, we're gonna go in a different direction when Wayne hasn't dropped any new music leading up to that Super Bowl. And we talked about that. Wayne didn't have any motion going into that Super Bowl. And there were people who were mad at Jay-Z for that. And we are 2 years removed since that performance. Not only was it one of the greatest performances we had ever seen in terms of visually, aesthetically, but the message that Kendrick Lamar delivered, right? But since that time, we've seen Lil Wayne forget his words on stage, not show up for performances.
Not show up.
Right? All those things that at the time, the three of us all said, this is why Jay can't invest in Wayne being part of the halftime show, because I don't know who you are as a performer at this point. And this leads back to what I was saying, that people were so mad, but then nobody ever stepped back and apologized and say, yo, you know what? Jay probably did the right thing. He probably shouldn't have picked Wayne because Wayne wasn't ready for that moment. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, that's so true though. Like, what if Wayne showed up to the Super Bowl halftime show, leaned out,
right,
forgetting the lyrics? Like, nah, we can't do that. That's bad business for everybody involved. For everybody involved. And if the culture came out looking like that, oh my God! Right. Can you imagine what the other side would have done to us if Wayne came out, leaned out, and not performing properly? And not or not show up at all.
This is why I said earlier, Jay is damned if he does, damned if he doesn't. He has created a platform for our culture and our artists. And it's still not enough for people. People are still mad. None of the previous commissioners of the NFL, nobody on the board of governors, none of them would have ever picked Kendrick Lamar for the halftime show. None of them would have ever picked Bad Bunny. None of them would have ever picked Snoop and Dre.
And we talking about moments.
Right.
Every one of these was super moments.
We sit here and we criticize Jay because it's not the pick we want. Fuck that, it's somebody from our culture. It's not the guy I want, so it's Jay-Z's fault. It's like, bro, what you doing, bro?
And the fact that he's bringing us to, you know what I'm saying? Like, why you gotta complain? You just gotta complain about something because America, and then especially America. I'm talking about the other side that complains about how much we are represented in the halftime shows now. Guess who started the halftime shows? Us. In Living Color started the halftime show. Keenan Ivory Wayans started the Super Bowl halftime show. People, look it up, Google it. It was a gap in between. They were trying to do something to bring entertainment. Because in Living Color used to come on Sundays, on Super Bowl Sunday, they were looking for some entertainment to bring at halftime, and then Living Color put on a Super Bowl halftime show on Fox. Back when Fox used to be progressive and force. That is the birth of the Super Bowl halftime show. Look it up. It started with us, and it's so funny that now America is like, oh, Spanish, oh, hip hop. Guess what? You wouldn't have a halftime show if it wasn't for diversity in living color. Yep. Keyword color.
Listen, let's go around. Let's get the final thoughts. Trip, go first, bro.
I just want to shout out two guys in MLB baseball. Shout out to my guy.
Final thought, bro, but all right.
Well, I gotta show love to Cody Bellinger, All-Star Game MVP. Come on, that's a Yankee. I gotta do that. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta show him love. And shout out to Kike Hernandez standing on business out there with the Dodgers. Said he wasn't going to the White House. I love that. You know what I'm saying? Nothing more need to be said. I'm with that.
Will, go ahead, bro.
I got to shout out to two guys too, man. Shout out to Eric Sanchez. Shout out to Trip Young. Nah, for real. Like, y'all don't understand how this is my... I'm trying to say stuff without sounding crazy. Because y'all be trying to pause everything. But I be having long weeks, man. I got a lot going on in my life, and this is my release, like my stress relief. And to be able to chop it up with y'all about sports and the things I love, and you know, the culture and the fact that the viewers, I feel like y'all rock, like y'all kind of get it. I know these guys do way more shows without me, and I'm not professional like they are. I say a lot of crazy stuff, and I can be, you know, a little wild. But the fact that y'all rock with us on Wednesdays too when I'm on, because I rock with them every night that they rocking. I don't know if y'all see me in the comments. I'm always there. I'm always watching. This is a movement, and it don't matter if we got 2 people watching or 2,000 people watching, 200,000 people watching. I'm always going to show up for these guys, no matter when the call. If I can be there, I'm gonna be there, and I just appreciate everybody in the comment section, everybody that watches. Like, this is very important to me in my health, in my mental health. It's such a release to be able to chop it up with these guys and chop it up with the fans and just keep rocking with us. We do this for y'all. We don't do this for no monetary gain, no nothing. We all take time out of our days. We all got families. We all got other stuff going on. We do this for y'all. And as long as y'all keep supporting us, it's not going to go away. And I would never not be a part of this thing.
Salute, brother.
Listen, bro, you already know it's all love. Y'all my brothers, man. I appreciate it. And this is a platform, man, that I'm very thankful for as well. Because just to give a little background, like I said earlier, when COVID hit, I'll never forget, Trip and I, we were recording when New York was just getting shut down. Remember, Trip? We was doing Shooting the Shit podcast. And we really thought, like, this is gonna pass, man. Give it a few weeks, it's gonna pass.
Sure enough, did.
And as things got worse,
small talk.
New Yorkers don't care about nothing. That's why we don't.
Yeah, we really was not serious about it. Mind you, it was like 8 of us in a room, bro, recording. Like, this gonna pass. It's straight. But reflecting back on that, And then, as much things have changed, me moving down here to Maryland, and we still kept trying to find a way to do it. And then, Will, I always tell the story, man. Shout out to Troy Perry, great friend of mine. I remember asking him about you, and I'm like, yo, you think? He was like, oh, Will will be perfect for that, man. And the moment we recorded, we took off from that point on, man. So I always enjoy having a conversation with you guys. And as you said, I think for all three of us, it's kind of an outlet where we can get together, talk sports, but check on each other. Because for the people that don't know, when we get off live, we spend the next 2 or 3 minutes. Yo, you good, bro? All right, bro, I'll talk to you soon. Hit my line, boom, boom, boom. And then we text and talk throughout the week regardless. So it's a brotherhood that has been created through this. So I never take that for granted, first and foremost. Secondly, I want to shout out Kyrie and Pooh. Kyrie said, I love this show, can talk hip hop too, much salute. And shout out to Pooh, great show. Listen, for either one of y'all, if y'all don't follow me on social media or Trip or anybody, hit one of us up. I want to send y'all a gift, man. Because Pooh and Kyrie, y'all are two of like the most loyalist supporters of the show. Yeah, y'all in the comment section every Monday, every Wednesday. We do a surprise show, a pregame show. So hit one of us up. One of the three lines up, hit us up. I want to get something for y'all, man. And let us know where we can send you a little something, just so like, yo, we appreciate y'all, man. Because it's crazy. We're able to come on live. We're not no major platform. We ain't got no major platform backing us. And I can promise you, I can guarantee you right now, I can look back and we can look at the time that the first comment came through. Kyrie sometimes being here an hour before. I just want to throw this up there just to show y'all.
No, that's love.
This was the first comment of the day from Pooh. This comment came through at 10 o'clock this morning, bro.
Wow.
We wasn't even going live. Bro, we wasn't going live at 7:30.
I don't even think I was awake at 10 o'clock.
Bro, no, hold on. That was the first comment. The second comment in the chat was from Kyrie at 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Right.
4 hours, 4.5 hours.
Shout out to Kyrie always, man.
So the fact that y'all not only subscribe, that y'all tune in, y'all engage, you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all really are the motivation for why we're trying to do this. It creates a space where we can have these real type of conversations. It's never personal. It's never attack on nobody else. But I so greatly appreciate that. Like I said, reach out to one of us, man. I want to send y'all something. I just, as a sign of gratitude and let y'all know. I also want to piggyback on a comment Trip Maker. We talked about this earlier. Shout out to Kike Hernandez and Mookie Betts. I think it's very courageous of them to come out immediately and say, we're not going to the White House. We're not visiting the sitting president. For a Hispanic ball player and a Black ball player to say we're not going and keeping a hard stance, I think we need to applaud that courage. In a society where you're going to get criticized, you got the buffoons on Fox News who know nothing about baseball, who try to take a jab at Kike Hernandez, like, oh, he wasn't that important to their World Series run. For y'all bozos over at Fox News, y'all don't realize Kike has won several World Series with the Dodgers. He's an everyday starter and a big part of their success in the playoffs. But because he's not going to kiss the ring of your so-called king, y'all want to be mad at Kike. So shout out to both of them.
Yeah, shout out to them.
And then
that's why I sent you the clip I sent you.
Right, because they both over
there. Which one? I got it too. Which one y'all sent to me? Yeah, that was.
They
I was like, what?
But I want to say again, make sure you guys subscribe. Going to ramp up the schedule as we get closer to football season. We're going to add some more days to lives and streams, so make sure you're tuned in. Subscribe to the podcast, man. Subscribe to Real Fans Real Talk as well as the Sanchez Show. You see the social media handles. Make sure you are rocking with us every week. We're going to be back on Monday. Before we wrap up, again, salute to my brothers. I said it on Monday, but we got to keep saying it, and I hope, I'm not optimistic, but I hope things work out fine. Thoughts and prayers to the family of Nolan Wells.
Yes.
We got to end it.
We got to get to the bottom of that.
We got to get to the bottom of that. That was a young man that lost his life. I have my thoughts, but I'm trying to be optimistic and letting this thing play out. But it's unfortunate. And thoughts and prayers to his mom and dad. I think, again, it's very courageous of them to try to fight for justice at a time when they're supposed to be grieving the loss of their son, man. So
they've been very out front in trying to bring knowledge to the situation, and it's heartbreaking.
it's truly heartbreaking. And like I said, my thoughts and prayers go out to them. As a dad, Will, I know you're a dad. Trip, I know you got nephews that you care about and that you love very dearly. So we all send our thoughts and prayers to that family as well, man. But for my brother, Will Gordon, for my brother, Trip Young, I am Eric Sanchez. Go ahead, Trip.
Hold on, really quick. Shout out to TJ. I just want to say, because he had threw a question up about China Taylor. She was all right, but she, you know, Mary is just Mary, and people are gonna want to see Mary in that moment. That's all that was.
Yeah, man. I saw that too. We'll get more into that on Monday, man. But shout out for my brothers. I am Eric Sanchez. This was the Sanchez Show. We'll see you guys on Monday night. Out of here.